You celebrate your life. Celebrate the good and the bad, the happy, the sad, the joy and the pain, the sun and the rain. Celebrate life. Celebrate your life with love.
Welcome everybody to A Spiritual Remedy. Hola, hola, hola. My name is Sunshine Daye, and it is a joy to welcome you to our show today. Please go ahead and type in the chat where you're viewing from, where you're listening from. I want to know. Good. Hello, one and all. I'm so excited to have you here. A Spiritual Remedy was designed a number of years ago to provide spiritual tools and loving support for your personal transformation. And that's because I envision a world where people, in particular clean and sober people who are laying down their distractions, their addictions, are living their best life and loving it. And that's why I want to get the opportunity to provide you with the spiritual tools and the loving support so that you might transform your life and live your best life and love it. So last week, we were in a great discussion with everybody, and one of our viewers, Michelle, said, "How do you release control?" Wow. That's a very, very important question. And when I think about control, I automatically think about, me and my control. I think of the Janet Jackson song, Control. I want to be the one in control. But also just really taking a look at whether I'm a control freak. Are you a control freak? So check out these couple of things. And I say these laughingly, but this might be an insight to whether you might be a control freak. So you might be a control freak if you find it easier to do everything yourself than to trust other people to do it right. If that's you, say, yeah, that's me. I got to do it. I don't trust people to do it right. Right. Or you might be a control freak if you have a hard time resisting the urge to micromanage things, even the smallest things. Like, are you the one who rearranges the dishwasher after other people put dishes in the dishwasher? Are you micromanaging all of the things in life, whether in the workplace or in your relationships? Are you, that micromanager? You might be a control freak if your plans have backup plans and your backup plans have backup plans. If this is you, you might be a control freak. I'm just saying. I don't know. I know I identify with a couple of those, right, already. You might be a control freak if the idea of uncertainty sends shivers down your spine. Like, well, where are we going? Well, that's to be determined. What? Does something happen for you? You might be a control freak if you can't stand imperfection and have to rearrange stuff so that it looks perfect for you, right? You might be a control freak if the phrase "just go with the flow" triggers like a mini panic attack. So you're getting what I'm saying. I mean, you may be a control freak if, in fact, people are telling you that you're too demanding, or if you're seeking reassurance and validation to make sure that everything is going according to plan. You might even be a control freak if you can't relax until every last detail is done. Now, even though I say this in good fun, you may notice parts of yourself that want to control in that way. However, recognizing the tendencies like this are actually some first steps towards balance in your life and letting go the need for total control. Because as human beings, we actually exercise control over lots of areas in our lives, from professional to social or environmental. when I think about like my personal habits, I strive to control like what I eat, how often I eat, when I play, when I exercise my body, my sleep patterns. Think about making decisions and how you control that decision making process and how that's important for not only everyday life and life decisions, but even your long term plans. It could be, based on finances or um, how about in relationships when you have boundaries and it's kind of like, this is what I will accept, this is what I won't accept, and actually exercising control in those areas. I mean, control in those areas also include like the family dynamics and friendships, romantic relationships. So yeah, whether it's in your work or career, in your finances, in your health and wellness, you know, control can be empowering, like I got this, and it's necessary for navigating life effectively because there's certain things that need to happen, and it's essential to recognize though that our control has limitations and that many times we just have the illusion of control. And what's most important is finding a balance. And so I don't know to say, like, yo, this is how to release control. What I will just offer up today are well, actually, they're two and a half or three things that are going to be super, super important as you look at your control patterns, as you make assessments for yourself, and as you grow in developing a balanced life around control. So, one is our first step in spiritual mind treatment, or what I like to call affirmative prayer. There's this part in affirmative prayer where we recognize the one power, one presence, one life that is omnipotent, that is omniscient, that is omnipresent. And I like to use just this idea of this first step of this recognition, and I like to go and do like a free flow of thought. So here's kind of me riffing a little bit on a free flow thought when I think about this particular thing, and I'll tie it back in, right? So if creative intelligence, if life, if God, is omnipresent and omnipotent and omniscient, then that means that it permeates all areas of life and existence, and from the smallest atoms to the vast expansion of the cosmos. Therefore, the notion that humans have complete control over their lives, it seems limited and actually really misguided, because there's a power and presence in a life that is all that there is. So that means that our perception of control is more towards like an illusion, and it's a construct of the ego mind and the ego's desire for certainty and security. My ego wants to know that everything's going to be okay. Therefore, when I cling so tightly to this illusion that I have control, I'm going to experience frustration and anxiety and resistance when life unfolds in ways that I don't expect it to unfold, right? But that means that true empowerment lies in surrendering to the flow of the creative intelligence. That means that true empowerment really lies in dependence upon a higher power. That means that true empowerment lies in the surrender to the flow of this creative intelligence that has created everything out of itself. Trusting that it guides me because I am its life. It created everything out of itself. Therefore, I am the unique, unrepeatable, magnificent, powerful way that this creative intelligence, that God, that infinite intelligence shows up in human form. And so I have to, and I get to therefore trust that it guides me towards my highest good. Therefore, instead of trying to micromanage like every aspect of my life, I can relinquish control and I can embrace that divine wisdom that comes when I'm still, when I'm silent, when I am in the flow and I am listening with my inner ear, listening with my heart. Therefore, I can release control knowing that I'm held and supported by this loving spirit, this higher power, this infinite intelligence, and my life unfolds with ease and grace. And in this surrender, what I find is I find freedom and peace and alignment with this divine flow of existence. It's in this thought flow right here, beloveds, that the recognition of a higher power, of a creative intelligence of God, that leads to the realization that control is really just an illusion. I have this illusion of control, and that true empowerment, true power comes from surrendering to this divine guidance. And I get to practice listening. So this is what happens when I get in a divine flow. Now, the second way that you can help yourself to release control or to find balance is through some journaling prompts, and I find these effective. You might grab a book or even just a sheet of paper, and what are the specific situations, and ask yourself, what are the specific situations that trigger these feelings of anxiety or fear or the need of control in my life? And begin to just free flow write this time, your past experiences or current circumstances that evoke or that bring up all of these emotions, right? And reflect on how they manifest and how they impact your life and your emotions and your behaviors. A second question you might ask is, what beliefs or what thoughts underline my need for control? So when I have this need for control, what are the thoughts and what are the beliefs that I have? And as I begin to journal and delve into the core beliefs and the core thoughts that I have, it points to the patterns of this desire for control. And then I get to go back into that free flow thinking about that recognition that spirit is the one life, one power, and that it is in control, and that my control is only an illusion. But I get to this by writing. The third question is like, how does my need for control impact my relationships, my productivity, my overall well-being? If I'm trying to control every little thing, whew, then when is it that I let other people do their thing? When do I let other people shine without me in the mix trying to do stuff? I find that I've done that a lot, and in recognition and in doing some of this work, I get to just kind of trust that everything is in divine order and that everything's going to work out the way it needs to work out without me putting my hand on it, putting my finger in the Kool-Aid and stirring it. Like, I can do this. I can do this. So lastly, I want to just share some affirmations. And some affirmations are things that we tell ourselves so that we can release old patterns and thoughts and beliefs and actually anchor in a new knowing for ourselves, right? That not only that it becomes a thought or a belief, but a belief is not enough, that it becomes a new knowing. So I declare, like, I release the need for control of every outcome, and I trust the wisdom of infinite intelligence or universe or God. I surrender to the flow of life, knowing that everything unfolds in divine timing. I let go of fear. I embrace uncertainty, and I know that it's an opportunity for growth and expansion. And affirmations like, I trust that I'm supported by a higher power, guiding me through and towards my highest and best. Everything is coming together for my highest good. And that's kind of how I do it. So, beloveds, I trust that this has been encouraging for you, and that the points that I'm really making here about releasing control is really about finding a balance of knowing myself, of knowing who I am and knowing who you are. And being able to simply trust that life is for me and not against me. And that my myopic views of what I think is perfection is actually piddlings compared to the infinite grand divine idea for my life. And that if I allow myself to go with the flow, instead of trying to micromanage, instead of trying to stick my fingers and my hands in everything, that the outcome is always going to be much better than what I thought it was going to be. And here's the other thing too, is that for us, even though it might not look like it's going the way we want, it's always going to turn out to the highest and the best for you at that particular time. That's what I trust. And that's kind of how I do it. I trust that today's show has been inspirational and motivational for you. I promise that I'll be back week after next, live and in person. And if you need to reach out to me, go ahead and visit our website and send me an email. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you thought about today's show and how I might provide that loving support and those spiritual tools for your personal transformation. Until the next time, mwah, know that you're loved. Bye for now.
Celebrate life. You celebrate.
Thanks for tuning in to A Spiritual Remedy. Use the links in the description for prayer requests, to donate to Be That Spiritual Learning Center, and to join our mailing list. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And you can visit us at vidaslc.org for more information.
Celebrate.